Even the city listens when I talk. They do not. They absolutely do not listen when I talk anymore. People are getting a little fed up with me talking everywhere. I'm TaZ Bouchier. I'm part of Treaty 8 territory here in this land now known as Canada. You are now on Treaty 6 territory, so welcome to Treaty 6 territory. Please say thank you, Treaty 6! Treaty 6! You know, one thing I learned as a child is a word to say, nanaskomon. I give thanks. And that in itself is a prayer. Anytime life happens, we say nanaskomon. We give thanks to those on the other side. We give thanks to great mystery. We give thanks to all life. We are on a spiritual journey, each and every one of us. You may not remember, but your soul remembers. Do not even think your soul doesn't. Because without your soul, you would not be walking on this Mother Earth. You would be back home in spirit world, as we call it. You have a soul, a spirit within you that is affected by all the damage being done here in this planet, on Mother Earth. Especially the damage that's being done with the tar sands in the northern parts of Alberta. What do you think of that? Louder? Say what? Absolutely shame. Shame on this government of Canada. Your government, not my government. My government is the Indigenous people of this land. We have a say, and we're probably the only legal entity that could put a stop to the destruction that is taking place. With the recent court decision in BC of the unceded lands that opens the doors across the nations and across Turtle Island for our people to step up and say, we never did give up the land. We did not sell it to you, nor did we give it to you, nor did we tell you you could own the water or the air. How can you own all of this that Creator has given to us so freely in abundance for each of us to use for our life, to enjoy this journey called life? If you enjoy this journey called life, jump up and down and make a noise. As we jump up and down, we create an energy, and that energy moves out and it connects, I guarantee you, with the thousands and thousands of people walking now in New York for climate change. We are not alone. If you're feeling angry, if you're feeling hurt, let that be the energy that moves you towards helping do something about it. And you are all here because you are concerned. You are concerned for the next generations, not just ourselves. You have children, you have grandchildren, you have those yet to be born, like us, the Indigenous people, have always thought 7 generations. You are now realizing as well to think ahead on what is needed for water, for earth, for land, for those who come after your footsteps. I truly believe we don't have to have hatred to do this. It's love that should be our motivation. Love. When we love enough, we care enough. When we look at our little ones and we see that they need air to breathe, water to drink, land that provides the food sources of plants, animals, trees, all those things. When we love enough, the world will change and peace will prevail. When we love enough to stand up to the governments and saying, you're not loving us enough because you're loving the corporations more than us. Enough is enough. We want this government to come back to the people, for the people, and heard by the people. Do you agree with me? Stamp your feet, jump up and down, and make a loud noise.
You can't eat money.
You can't drink money.
You can't drink money.
We want to be loved.
We want to be loved.
We want our children to be loved.
We want our children to be loved.
And love means I take care of what is needed.
And love means I take care of what is needed.
Well, that was a long sentence, eh? Are you feeling loved? Look to your neighbor and say, I love you enough to stand beside you in solidarity. Go ahead, do a hug fest. Hug one another. Set that energy of love. Honestly, it is the only energy that will work against the greed and destruction. I truly believe that. I was taught that. If love heals, if you are mindful as a group of people and thinking about how much you love our Mother Earth, how much you love our children, how much you love water and everything that's provided by Mother Earth, and you purposely are thinking about that, you will help with the healing process. Because right now, the corporations are hating us. As human beings, they don't care if it costs your life. They don't care. And that don't care means hatred. Hatred exists. And we have to battle that with loving energy. Loving energy. Doesn't mean we sit quiet and we sit idle and we don't say a word. But we, in our mind, come across in a non-violent, peaceful way that says, enough is enough. So sit down for a second and understand sometimes you can sit down and sit and your body will be speaking against that which is doing us harm. Harper has got to go. If you believe that and you support that, for 2 seconds, sit down. And I'm going to ask you to give me the hand signal that tells Harper where to go. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Give it to me. There's like 3 different hand signals. Thank you. I wondered which one would come about. You know, it is important though. I may laugh about this, but most often I cry about this. The destruction of the First Nations people in this land is called genocide. The destruction of the descendants of a race of people, of culture, of dance, of song, of values and beliefs and spiritual practices is called genocide. And there needs to be that acknowledged. It is not a residential school syndrome or a residential school incident. It is not a 60 scoop incident. It is a continuation since the invasion, since the welcoming we did many years ago to this land, since 1884 when they had the policy of assimilation put in place, through legislation, through policy, the Child Welfare Act, the Educational Act, the destruction of the Water Protection Acts, all work towards the demise of the original people of this land who live off the land still. How can someone who sits in power claim to be God-driven while killing human life? How is it that a cougar was killed in Calgary and immediately our Justice Minister, Justice Dennis, calls for a review of what happened, and yet millions of children within foster care, within residential school, and millions of Indigenous people are dying on the streets throughout the land, and millions of women going missing and murdered, Indigenous, and there's no review. How is it a cougar has more importance than millions of human beings? I don't understand that. How is it there could be a grave in Ottawa for an unknown soldier that's protected daily. And tourists are brought to that to understand the story of the unknown soldier. And that man, whoever he was, God bless his soul, may he rest in peace. There's no name for him. Came, was brought back and buried in Ottawa. And he's got a big monument. How much money was spent to build that huge monument in Ottawa? How much money is continued to be spent by the Conservative government to acknowledge this unknown soldier, and not one red cent towards building monuments for the destruction of the Indigenous people of this land?
And the homelessness.
Yes.
And yes, the homeless people.
Shame. 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 Government.
There should be nobody homeless in this country. If they would tax the corporations more and reduce the taxes for others, perhaps housing wouldn't be so difficult to build. Perhaps the governments need to get together and start planning around taking care of human beings instead of profit margins. Repeat after me. No more genocide.
No more genocide.
No more genocide.
No more genocide.
Please, Creator, no more genocide.
Please, Creator, no more genocide.
So many of you come from backgrounds where genocide has existed in your homeland. You understand. Some of you come from places of war. You understand. If we were a violent, criminal-minded people, we would have slaughtered everyone instead of inviting them to come and have a Thanksgiving dinner to learn how to live off this land. We're not violent. We will hurt ourselves before we hurt others. And today we're going to have the anti-genocide feast for the homeless. I would really appreciate after you do your walk to come back and support that, please. That we demonstrate to the homeless people in the city of Edmonton that we care. That we care for human beings who are not well. And we put value, even if you don't have a nickel in your pocket. We put value on life. Winter is coming. And why is it? There's more money put into churches, into buildings that really are for recreational use, and not enough funds put into housing that is affordable for those who are not well. So, with that was all my prayer. Please do pray with us. Continue to pray with us when you walk. Keep us in your minds. Keep us in your hearts. And welcome all to Treaty 6 territory.
Hey, you guys. Are you guys excited for 100% clean energy?